if you're an artist, teacher, course creator, and you've been frustrated or feeling overwhelmed or struggling with marketing, today I want to go over 3 elements of marketing to simplify things for you, as well as the number 1 easiest way I've grown my business by more than 2,000 students in the last couple of months online. Let's dive in. And I want to say also that you are not alone with this struggle. So the first way that we're going to talk about with marketing is organic. So this is very simply through word of mouth, social media. You can do this through any of your online platforms. Perhaps you're on LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook, Pinterest, etc. So this is organic, will take you more time, but it's not going to cost you money. So there is organic. The next approach with marketing is through paid. And so paid is exactly what it sounds like, through paid ads. This can be through meta ads, through Instagram or Facebook. You can run Google ads. You can run an ad in your local paper. You can create flyers and brochures and run ads in that way. But that is definitely going to take, obviously, your time and money combined. But it can be, if you have success, it can be a fast track, but it can be very challenging to have success with paid ads. It really is its own skill set in and of itself. So the last way, which is my absolute favorite, and I'll explain why, and I'll talk about the number 1 way that I have grown my business, which is through partnerships. So partnerships is where you're connecting with other people, connecting with their audience or their student-based community. And the number 1 way, there's lots of ways you can do this with partnerships, which might be if you're an online teacher teaching through summits or retreats. If you're teaching in person, it might be connecting with your local library, art studio, yoga studio, meditation studio, schools, etc., and teaching for their student base already. So the great part about partnerships is that they are vouching for you and you're being introduced to an already aligned community that might be interested in what you're offering as an artist, teacher, facilitator. But of partnerships, the number 1 way that I have grown my business, especially as an example in the last couple of months, has been through what is referred to as signature workshops. So let me explain what that is. So in the last 2 months, as an example, with touring a signature workshop. It's one workshop I've created that's about 60 minutes long. It's an introduction to me, my background, to my philosophy and approach to mindful art that I teach, as well as a large majority of the workshop is focused on the experience, doing the practice together with the students, because we want them to walk away with a transformation. We want them to feel like it was really supportive and helpful and that they're curious to learn more. So a large part of the workshop is focused on that. And then there's a call to action or an invitation to go deeper, to learn with you more, and I'll share more about what that might be. But this signature workshop is something that has to be repeatable, really easy, and it's something where you're reaching out to other local or online global partners who you know have an audience or a student base that is in alignment with your values, that their students may be curious and interested in what you're offering. And so what we do when we are reaching out for partnerships in this way is that we're focusing on how can we support each other. So it's not only you giving this workshop, but there's a way that you're uplifting and supporting everybody. And then ultimately the focus is on the students who you're reaching. So this signature workshop, I recommend usually that it's unpaid. It is a free workshop. It's a way that you can access and be introduced to a lot more people so you can share your work online or in person. And there is a methodology to this that does work, that is a way that I recommend. And so let's talk about that. So there is an actual signature workshop framework. And I have a 7-step framework of what should be included in your signature workshop to guide participants through to learn more about you and to have that invitation at the end of the workshop. This invitation at the end of the workshop might be for them to download a free workbook to learn more with you. It might be to sign up for your next class or series. It could be for them to join your newsletter. Maybe you're teaching at a local studio and it's for them to come and join and be part of that studio with a trial membership. There's lots of different options, but the key part is that you want it to be something really easy that is they've had this experience with you, this transformation, they resonate with you as a teacher or facilitator, and they're curious to learn more. And then you offer this really easy invitation or way for them to continue to connect with you. And I love this as a form of marketing, because to me, it doesn't feel like marketing. What it feels like to me is teaching, which is what we do best as artists and teachers. And so it's a way that we can leverage and connect with others who already have a student base, especially if you are just now starting and maybe you're teaching online, but you don't really have an email list, or maybe you've been teaching in person, but you've had 1 or 2 people sign up for your offerings and you're struggling to have people join you. Or perhaps you've been teaching or facilitating for a while, but you're looking at how you can really grow your business. I am telling you that signature workshops, which is done through partnerships, is the #1 way that I have grown my business. And I shared the example in the last couple of months. I've had about 2,000 students, brand new people, join my community online, join my newsletters through this method and approach. And it's felt, the nice part too for me is that it feels really gratifying. So it's something that even if someone does not decide to continue working with me or to join my email list, I know that they're already getting something out of that hour, and they have practices that they can continue to do on their own. And likely you will have a certain number of people, I've found quite a lot actually, who are interested in connecting with you and learning more. So if you are curious about this signature workshop approach, I'm creating and sharing an online training that includes my 7-step framework for signature workshops, includes how to research and find aligned partners, how to reach out to them in a way that does feel good for everybody involved. So I'm going to be including email templates, my actual tracking spreadsheets so you can stay organized, especially if you're reaching out to 2 people, then you probably don't need something to stay organized or have a system. But because this is something, what I encourage is that this can be a replacement for a lot of other marketing efforts that you're doing. Or if you've been meaning to get on social media, but you've really been struggling with it, this can be, or you've been wanting to run ads, but you don't know how, or you don't have the budget. Signature workshops is definitely a wonderful substitute and a way that can feel in alignment. So I'll say this last part. I talk about mindful marketing all the time. For me, mindful marketing first and foremost is marketing in a way that is in alignment with your values, that feels good for you as well as the people that you're marketing to. And part of that is noticing for ourselves what feels best. And so if running ads makes you want to pull your hair out, or you don't have the budget, or posting on social media, you get 1 or 2 likes and nobody sees what you're doing, or you're racking your brain and you're unsure what you should be sharing, these are signals to us that maybe that's not the best fit. And as a teacher or facilitator, we know that you already love to teach and facilitate. That's what you do best, is your creative practice and your facilitation practice. So you can scroll down to learn more about this online training for learning how to create your signature workshop, how to tour it, how to find your partners, how to reach out. All of the systems are already included, and it includes coaching. So I will give you direct feedback on how you can fine-tune your email outreaches, who you're contacting, how you're following up, what your offer is, so you can have this be a sustainable model for you. And the really beautiful part, I'll say this last thing, is that once you've created your signature workshop and you have all of this outreach done, this is something that you can continue to do, and it takes very little effort. The effort is when you're first setting it up. And even that, in my experience, is nothing compared to when you're doing anything with organic and paid. So it really has been, signature workshops has been the #1 way for me that has felt most aligned, joyful for marketing. Again, I've increased about 2,000 students just in the last couple of months. I've connected with other people. I'm enjoying teaching in the process. And I've had a lot of other people then join my Mindful Art teacher trainings and sign up for other programs as a result. So scroll down to learn more. And if you have any questions, you can email me also at info@mindfulcreativemuse.com.